Welcome back to another episode of Crime Circuit. For this video, we're going to be traveling all the way to Melvindale, Michigan, and we're going to be speaking on the loving father and how his remains were found along a highway 100 miles from his home. And this case is unsolved. Before we go any further, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscription button, hit the like button. Y'all watch this video all the way through. Let's dive into the case. The Melvindale, Michigan man and loving, proud father was extremely close to his family, particularly his father Elton and his sister Tasia Carter. He absolutely adored his teenage son DJ, and while they were no longer together romantically, David enjoyed a warm and friendly relationship with his son's mother. He was an ambitious hard worker at a top-tier auto supplier who somehow also found time to volunteer as a coach at the Melvindale Junior Football League, and regularly stopped by his parents' house to visit and lend a hand. And as if this weren't enough, the 39-year-old had also launched his own clothing line called Lavish Habits Clothing. When colleagues called his family on October 2nd of 2018 to report that David had not shown up for his job at Magna Seating Plant in Highland Park, Michigan for the last 3 days, the family knew immediately something was wrong. The single father had last been seen by family and friends attending DJ's football game on September 28th. His girlfriend of 6 months, Tammy Williams, had also went to the game with David, but the two did not sit together. When later asked why, David's sister Tasia stated that she believed her brother was in the midst of a breakup with Tammy because of what she called the woman's possessive behavior. David was next due at work on September 30th, and his scheduled shift that Sunday would have paid triple time.
Well, David Carter's father says that the police chief asked him to meet here at the Melvindale Police Department around 4:30 this afternoon, and when he got here, he got the heartbreaking news that his son is dead.
He told me that he was gone, and it got to me.
16-year-old David Carter Jr.
It is certain that the responsible dad would not have missed a fat paycheck on a whim. Additionally, that same day, DJ was supposed to see his father. He and his mother received a text from David's phone stating that he wasn't feeling well and that he had to cancel the visit. Considering that his son was his world, this seemed to be uncharacteristic of David. DJ went over to his dad's residence at Gale Gardens Apartments anyway, and once there, he encountered Tammy outside taking out some trash. DJ later maintained that once she spotted him, she ran inside the apartment, locking the door behind her. When he used his key to open the door and eventually gained entry into the apartment, she claimed David was out walking, despite his alleged illness. After the phone call from David's job, Tasia and her husband Derek went over to the Gale Gardens apartment to determine what might be going on. To their surprise, they found David's car in the parking spot as usual and the apartment door unlocked. Knowing her brother's tendency to be extremely security-minded, Tasia called her father Elton and DJ's mom Samia to accompany them, and together they entered the apartment only to find a terrifying scene. The normally spotless bedroom where her brother slept looked something like a horrific crime scene. The bed was unmade, and there was a gunshot hole and bloodstains on the mattress. Blood was also found on the carpet beneath the bed, and David was nowhere to be seen. When Tasia called Tammy to ask where David was, his girlfriend claimed that she did not have a clue. Worried sick, the family immediately reported David missing to the Melvindale Police Department. The following day, police called Elton about a discovery made in Ohio, about 95 miles away from David's home. On October 1st, a Department of Transportation worker had discovered a weird-looking sleeping bag in the weeds along the I-75 Eagle Township. The sleeping bag contained the lower and legs of a human being.
My father has always been there for me, like always, no matter what is going on. But for this to happen to him and not be with us today, or for the rest of our lives, it's gonna hurt us.
When authorities asked Elton whether David had a tattoo of a pit bull on his upper left leg, Elton knew that his son had been located, unfortunately with the most devastating outcome. Once confirmed, the police opened a homicide investigation into David's death. Michigan State Police crime scene technicians and Melvindale PD detectives descended upon the Gale Gardens apartment, collecting evidence. Some sources report that remains were found in Melvindale, but it is unclear exactly what was found and where. On October 5th, authorities arrested David's girlfriend Tammy Williams, naming her as a suspect and bringing her in for questioning. Largely based on her lack of concern over David's disappearance, and her odd behavior as witnessed by DJ. However, under Michigan law, police were only able to detain her for 3 days before they were forced to let her go due to lack of evidence of her involvement. She remained a person of interest on authorities' radar. In the subsequent days, police discovered David's dismembered head in a duffel bag in a different location along the same highway, which allowed them to confirm David had perished from a gunshot wound below his left ear, exiting to the top of his head. On October 16th, the final bag would be located, containing David's upper torso, arms, and hands. The quietly ambitious, unassuming man who lived for his son, his family, and his work had met fate, a dreadful beyond words. Dismembered and discarded like trash along a bleak stretch of I-75, 100 miles away from his home and family. But at whose hands? Authorities had a compelling theory, particularly after Tammy, the primary person of interest in the murder, fled the area. She had made several large cash withdrawals and traveled by train from Ann Arbor, Michigan to Chicago. From Chicago, she headed to New York and was last spotted leaving the Neptune Hotel in the Bushwick section of Brooklyn, New York. The trail ends here, and her whereabouts are currently unknown. Investigators are currently looking for Williams, who is said to have contacts all over the world due to her former job as a travel agent. Additionally, she has close connections within the Order of the Eastern Stars, which I'm not really going to get into all that. If you know, you know. That's going to conclude this episode of Crime Circuit. Like I always say, watch who you hang with and keep something with you. Let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments section. Who do y'all think was involved? Who do you think played a part? Because I definitely don't believe it was just her. I think she was the mastermind. But like I said, stay safe out there. Till next time. Peace.